It did it again. It's so nice. Hello and welcome to Grumpy Old Reds as we reflect on the result. Well, that was Nottingham Forest 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, and we will probably have to look ahead to the Leeds game as well because the turnaround is so quick. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Good morning. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're well. We got there in the end. Hope you guys are well, and welcome to the live stream as we are going to get deeply under the hood and the bonnet of, well, the good, the bad, the ugly, the everything on yesterday, and start to look ahead to Leeds as well. Boys, me and Ez are gonna excuse ourselves for 2 minutes while we finish our food. So Dino and Ant, hope you boys are both well. They're gonna kick the show off for you, and we'll be back in 2 minutes because we're just breaking our fast.
Breaking the fast. Hi guys, how are you? Welcome in the chat. Hi Phil. Hi Bobby. Hi Turbocharged. Hi Samir. Yes, they're eating Samir. So we were both at the game, Ant.
Yep.
I thought personally we played pretty well, certainly first half. But very strange decision, I think, by Cooper, which I think massively changed the game. And looking at the, all the forums and stuff like that and social media, it seems as though the same happened. What do you think, chat? Do you think Cooper actually made a bit of a mess on that substitution? And what was your feelings overall? You're quite positive, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of positives to take from the game, which I'm sure we'll touch on. Very quickly on the Cooper substitutions, I think everybody's of the same mind on that. It was kind of baffling. When he brought on Joe Worrell for nothing against Joe Worrell, that's not the issue. But when he brought on a defender, took an attacker off, I looked at the guy next to me, and he looked at me, and it was like, what? Why? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Because Wolves were playing a very high line, and we were breaking that line regularly. And Dennis, I love Dennis, but no matter what people think of him, he's got power and pace, and he does go forward. And he was a threat all through the game. The Wolves' defence was scared to death of him. And they must have breathed a massive sigh of relief when we took him off. Now, what Steve Cooper said was, I understand what he said, but what he said was, they brought on extra attacking players, therefore I had to counteract that. But the way we look at it as fans and not managers is, but that leaves them short at the back, so we can then go take advantage of that and get another goal, which is always more likely. They had one shot on target all game.
Spot on.
I want to cover this either now or later. I tend to agree with that. Wasted chances. I thought we were quite wasteful.
But I do agree with
that.
But you can't say tactics didn't make a difference because, as I was saying, once we brought on Joe and took Dennis off, that tactic, to my mind, did affect the game. It did cost us the game, possibly.
Personally, I think that's sacrilege doing it at home when you're 1-0 up against a fellow rival in the relegation zone.
Score goals.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Can I just put a counter argument? I watched the Manchester United Newcastle game today, and Ten Hag did exactly the same. He took two central defenders off, left himself with one centre back, and they were absolutely torn to pieces. So there's pros and cons, but obviously he went to the extreme, and I think that in some way, so did we. We didn't need to take off an attacker and bring on a defender, in my view.
I think it's spot on, Ant. I really do. But I don't think the game hinged on the substitution. Yeah. And I don't know, you just mentioned it doesn't matter. It could have been Worrell, it could have been Niakate coming on. It didn't matter. It was the fact that it sent a message that we are not coming for you and we'll try and counter-attack you and we just want the 1-0. But for me, the tactical change was at half-time. That was one of the best halves of football I'd seen Forest play all season in the first half.
Wasn't it nice to see the press?
Yes.
Oh, it was like, hallelujah.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
And guess what? We went into the break 1-0 up because
Yeah.
of the way we played. And you got to give Cooper credit for that. He chose a really good midfield. He chose 3 good attackers. And it was all based, the whole first half was based on having Niakate and Felipe as the back two, because everyone around him has confidence that they can leave them be and that they can control it. Which just adds to the frustration of why would Worrell need to come in there? Again, it's not because it's Worrell. It's because those two were controlling it by themselves. They didn't need a third body in there. He gave Wolves the credit of them being an Arsenal in the second half. That's what blew my mind on it. Sorry, go on, Dino.
Well, what a pair of centre-backs, though, we've got there. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It must give the rest of the team confidence in front of them. It must do.
And considering we had what would be considered a makeshift back four, with 2 of our main 4 defenders being absent, they coped really well. And if you watch any of the Wolves podcasts afterwards, every single one I've seen have said, "Can't believe we got away with a point. Can't believe we got away with a point." You know, they were delighted with a point because one shot on target all game. You know.
Yeah, but did you see what Neves said after the match? He was like, you know, they were good first half, but second half they didn't want to play. They just wanted to sit back. Even Wolves knew what we were trying to do.
See that.
Yeah, Neves came out because they didn't want to play football in the second half. Only one team wanted to play football. Fine. The thing is, this is fine margins. Yeah, if Cooper had held off with the low block football in the second half, we're probably sitting here saying, "Well done. Yeah, you got us over the line. The 3 points. You did what you needed to do." The point is, he didn't.
Yeah, but this is why the substitution baffles me even more, because like you said, we came out second half playing counter-attacking football.
Yeah.
And that's all we needed to do to see the game out, because they did change their shape. They went to almost a back 3, but with Neves playing as like a quarterback, centre-back for them. He was dropping deep, picking up the ball from their 2 centre-backs. But that was perfect. That's how we were playing. So why bring on the extra defender? And I'm telling you, and Dina's already mentioned it, Felipe and Niakate had more than enough in there to counter anything that they were throwing at us. So why did you need to bring an extra centre back into it? And what I would have done, if you're going to take, I do understand that from what I saw, Dennis was blowing a little bit at that stage, so he probably did need to come off. But
I don't think he was, Ez. I know you said that. I don't think he was.
There was a couple of runs he made.
I didn't see that, but maybe
I
right.
did, especially after that. Yeah, so well, from my angle, obviously we're seeing it from different angles slightly as well. So from my angle, after that, I think it was that 1-2 that he did with Gibbs White.
Yeah.
And the run he made after that, he seemed to be blown a little bit, and I think that's why he was taken off.
Can I mention?
The thing I was going to say, the thing I was going to say though, very quickly, was that although Neves has said, you know, they didn't come out to play, blah blah blah, we still had a lot more chances than they did in that second half.
100%.
Even playing the way we were playing.
Yeah, do you know who I am? Because Wolves are playing on the halfway line. Wolves were doing what Leicester did when they came to the City Ground. They were stupid. They were playing on the halfway line, and that's why. I don't agree with Ez that Dennis was blown. I think he still had a tank in him. I think he got brought off because he didn't square it to MG Dub. It may have been something like that. But if you're telling me MG Dub wasn't finding Dennis in that left channel, ball in, ball out, on the halfway line with half the pitch to run into, and that was going to... Look, if you're going to do that godforsaken counter-attack football, if you're going to, hold on to what we got with dear life, then leave the people on the pitch who will create the chances, who can run into the space. You leave Jono on and you leave Dennis on, because they're the 2 fastest players we've got out wide. Sorry, Dino, you wanted to jump in on something.
I just wanted to mention quite a lot of positives that I picked up from it. Obviously destroying and suicidal, with that change, I think, when Cooper brought a defender on for an attacker. But I think loads of positives in it. I still think we'll be all right. We've got Dennis, who's kind of cementing that left-hand side now, isn't he? Gibbs White seemed to be back on form after his England spell.
He was brilliant.
Did him a lot of good. Jono just looks dangerous all the time, and he frightens the hell out of people. We've got a 1U came on. He's back. Before the game, we were looking at the team sheet going, "Oh God," I thought Nico would be all right if he came in, but boy, was I not expecting Toffolo. But I think they played quite well.
I thought Toffolo was good. Yeah. I like Toffolo. I don't rate Nico Williams. I don't care what you got, so you're not going to convince me otherwise.
Yeah. And the midfielders stepped. I thought Mangala was good. Danilo, oh my God, what a sight to behold!
Wow.
Seeing that sort of midfielder in the box,
And
at the end of attacks.
You know what? Sorry, dear, but you know what? That assist he got for the goal, I don't think it's been talked about enough. That
Oh,
was
it's
a
beautiful.
lovely bit
Yeah.
of controlled play in the middle of the penalty box with all craziness going off about you, and he just dinked it over. I don't think people are talking about
And
it.
it's not even that, the ball bubbled to him, so it made it harder for him to control.
He needs to get his blonde hair back though, because me and Nottingham now and then we thought it was Dennis.
Yeah, I called it as Dennis as well.
Which was behind the goal, like under the ground.
I've got to be honest with you. There's a point, I think it was in the second half, where I looked over and I saw Danilo and I thought it was Dennis. And then I saw Dennis and I went, who the fuck's that then?
Yeah. I think Samir has put it here. Let's bring it back to sort of, it was 2 points drop, 100%. But I think this all goes down to our away form now. If we try and be a bit more assertive away, I think we'll be all right. If we don't, then we could be stuffed. I mean, some strange results today went for and against us. We're not far off the bottom three now, are we?
There's a lot of positives though from the actual.
Yeah, a lot of positives. Leicester's just sacked the manager. I wonder what the chat think of whether the reports in there, was it the Telegraph, are true? Whether he's going to he's ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, there's been another report from the Daily Mail about Marinakis stormed into the dressing room after the match, read the riot act. He was pissed about the substitutions as well. I think the one about Worrell was what triggered him.
To be fair, you shouldn't have an owner doing that. That's wrong. You employ the manager. The manager makes substitutions. You shouldn't be in a position to go in and demand what substitutions are made. Where does that end?
Do you know what? If I put 160 million in and I saw Dennis taken off for Worrell, I'd have freaking slung him out the stadium.
You employ the manager. If you don't agree with what the manager's doing, then you get rid of the manager. You don't go in and say to the manager, you must do this, you must do that. That's not how it should work.
That's a fair point. Fair point. But I don't know. I don't know how true the reports are. There's a lot of that going on. Obviously, Leicester have now sacked Brendan Rodgers. That leaves only Cooper and Moyes as the two managers who started from the bottom 9 teams, who started in the position at the start of the season.
Well, they got a win today, didn't they?
They got a win. They've gone ahead of us on goal difference.
Got a game in hand, they're still, or maybe 2.
They've got a game in hand, but it's Man City. So, call it what you will. You've got the bottom 3 now is Southampton bottom with 23, Leicester 19th with 25, Everton 18th with 26. And then they're playing tomorrow, but that will be an extra game. They're already level with us on games. Then you got Leeds on 26, Bournemouth on 27, and then Forest and West Ham as well on 27. Man, we're level with Bournemouth on points. It's tight, isn't it? It's tight as.
Crazy season.
Yeah, it's tight, and it's going to stay tight till the end of the season because how many teams are playing each other? The amount of let's just use Leicester as an example. Of their last 10 games, 5 of them are against relegation battle teams. That's 5-6 pointers they've got to get something out of. It's a long way off being decided. This one.
1 point clear.
Yeah. And it's going to be a lot tighter than maybe we gave it credence at earlier on in the season. But yesterday, there's a lot of positives to take from it. There really is. The negative is, and everybody said the same thing, even at the time around me. I think a few people actually thought it was Surridge coming on because of a blonde head. And then when they saw the jacket come on and saw it was Worrell, everyone was like, what the hell is going on here? Nobody quite understood it. I still think that was the game changer because for me it would have been a straight swap. You guys have seen it differently, but I'm telling you, I saw Dennis wasn't at his best at that.
Fair enough.
Understand why he took him off, but I would have done a straight swap. I would have put a 1 year in. I would have kept that momentum going because you're right. That's where we were getting our, and for the first time in a long time, we were not just relying on the right hand side to attack. We were attacking from that left hand side, and because of the link up with MG Dub and Dennis was fantastic yesterday, especially in that second half. So I would have just carried on with a 1 year, and the 1 year was chomping at the bit to come on. He
That's
was.
a really good point. That's a
He
really
was.
good. You know what? You know
You could
what?
see him on the sideline, couldn't you? He was just like.
Yeah, he was like warming up for about 20 minutes, wasn't he, on and off?
If he had Kevin Dennis,
with his shorts on as well. Did you notice he took his tracky
Yeah, it was
bottoms off?
ready. It was
Oh,
ready.
it's funny.
if Dennis was struggling, which we can. It doesn't really matter. The point being, if he was going to take Dennis off, he should have brought a 1 year on.
Yeah.
Because a 1 year was on for 5 minutes, and he had a run down the left and got clear as well.
Yep.
So
We were destroying him down that flank.
That tactic was the
Right,
right
Razza.
tactic.
Is that true? Is that true?
correct?
Yes,
I've not
it's
seen
true.
that.
Yeah, he's right.
Breaking news: Chelsea.
Sack Potter.
Well,
When do we
according to
go
you,
to,
that means Chelsea are going to win the championship, the league this year. Then.
So does that mean Leicester, do you think? It's the end of the season?
Do you think Potter goes to Leicester?
Could be. That's a good shout. That's a good
Or
shout.
do you think Marinakis will see that and go, right, I'm going to get him and Coop probably gone tomorrow? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
If I was Marinakis, it's my first call right now. I'm sorry, but it is.
Really?
Potter is good, man. Potter is good.
He's
If
not good at
so
Chelsea,
good,
but
hang on, if he's so good, how come his Brighton team couldn't score goals and his Chelsea team couldn't score goals? Don't think that his team score goals because they don't.
isn't he a five at the back man as well?
Yeah, and when
Yes,
and when he was at Brighton, everybody was saying Brighton play fantastic football. If only they could get a goal scorer. So, is that really?
I don't want to go
what-
five
Yeah.
at the back. I'm sorry.
They had Danny Welcrap, don't they? So it's even now. I still don't think they
That
score
all
enough
good, that all
goals.
good,
I
that all
think Brighton with a top-notch goal scorer could have been pushing top 4 this season.
But
I
Brighton's
do
done all right
agree. I
without him.
don't like the 3 at the back of his
Yeah, I
style.
know. But Brighton's done all right without him, haven't they? To be fair.
better. They're better without.
So
him.
is it down to the manager? I'm just saying. I don't want to see five at the back personally. Although we've probably got the players for it with Loddy, and we kind of went into the season, remember, buying right and left
Trying
backs
to
that
build
were
it.
for the wing backs, didn't we? So
Tricky one.
interesting.
I don't know.
I do like Graham Potter, by the way. I do like him. I just have this concern that he's no more of an attacking manager than Steve Cooper is. So don't get your hopes
I
up
agree.
thinking we're going to start playing.
I think that's a really good point, and he gets overlooked. It really does. But the difference between him and Cooper is that he's built a championship team into a Premier League team. And yes, they did have to. Again, you could argue there's similar traits between them because he had to survive by the skin of his teeth, didn't he, in the first
he did,
season or two, and then he built it. We may look back and see Cooper doing the same thing. You never know. But living it right now, man, it's fucking aging me. It really is.
The other little point I was going to make as well is that we're realistically, Forest fans should have expected us to be at best at this time, at this part of the season. No, I know fourth, I know all that, but let's be realistic. Ignore Wolverine, the rest of the human population. Realistically,
Are you back out on me, sunshine?
Forest as a newly promoted team with this massive influx of players. Realistically, we couldn't have expected to have been any better off than we actually are.
Where are Fulham?
He had us down as fourth, Wolverine.
Yeah, no,
And him. Don't
Yeah, I
don't
know.
let him off the hook.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah, he keeps it quiet. He keeps it quiet. yeah.
Just keep it
Yeah,
quiet.
but I didn't actually believe it.
Can I just put a conundrum out to the chat?
Oh, good. I like
If we had no manager, would you as owners employ Cooper or Potter?
Potter.
Ez, what about you?
It's much of a muchness for me. Probably just because he's got 1 year more experience in the Premier League, you'd go with Potter. But
It's more than a year, mate. It's more than a year.
yeah,
Right, let's just have a look at some of these. East Red says Potter. Mark Wiles says Cooper. Matt D says Andy Reid. I'm not sure about Andy Reid. I know people keep...
No, I think Andy Reid's part of the problem. To be honest,
Yeah,
I think
Potter.
losing Stephen Reid. If you offered me Stephen Reid over Andy Reid, I'd take that.
where's that in the hat?
Stoney comment of the night
Yeah,
so
I'd
far.
I'd rather
no
employ
idea.
Ant than Potter or Cooper.
Well, we are in trouble then.
You've got no idea how Stephen Reid would cope as actual manager in the Premier League. You
I'm
can't-
no. I was comparing. I wasn't saying as manager. I was saying
Oh,
as.
sorry. Oh, yeah,
I was saying
yeah.
the difference between the two reads is abundant to see this season.
Right, and the difference in that game at the weekend was that substitution and the mentality changing from progressive to, you could see us literally going back and back. You know, where I was sitting in the Trent end on literally the front row, the players were getting smaller and smaller and smaller because they were just going further and further back.
Thing is, though,
you know that guy there, number 10, who scored their goal? We couldn't even see him.
As soon as he came on, I went, oh shit, because he's a good player, Podence. He's a really good player. Yeah, that's it. It's gone, whatever I was going to say. Gone. Carry on.
Oh, you forgot. Okay, I do want to talk about something that, look, this is what I'm holding on to right now, yeah? Because the fixtures scare me. Everything else scares me. For me, the thing that keeps my heart still beating is those two centre-backs. Yeah. I know Ant's got a lot to say about them, but how was it to see your boyfriend and your boyfriend's partner yesterday command that line?
Well, I couldn't keep my eyes off him. No, fantastic, really fantastic.
I'm sure you assessed his performance, yeah?
yeah. I'm talking about his performance on the pit field, by the way, not his other performance. Yeah, fantastic, really dominating. It's a shame, and me and Dino talked about it afterwards, that Felipe especially wins so many headers, but we don't seem to win the second ball off it. You know, that's the only issue with it. But
and the
really
thumping headers as well, aren't they? You can hear him around the ground.
Oh, when he heads it 30 yards, doesn't he?
He proper necks it, and he like, boof.
Oh yeah,
it's like a sledgehammer.
He gets stuck in. I can tell you that.
God.
So yeah, really positive, and that's why I didn't think we needed to bring another centre half on, because I thought we had it covered, a pair of them. Niakate, you know, first half he handled what's his name really well. What's the bloody left winger? But he didn't get past it. Yeah, I mean, again, anytime he did get a ball in, it was overhit or went straight to Navas, so he wasn't a threat. The problem, and what I really enjoyed actually, because I think I heard it in probably the player rating, somebody criticising Johnson for not getting back. But to be honest, Mangala covered that side brilliantly. I thought the middle three actually yesterday were fantastic. I've got to say, as good as a performance as I've seen from Freuler in a while, as he was actually the one doing the pressing. At times he was the furthest forward, and the other two around him certainly backed it up. Danilo, the only concern I've got with Danilo is that he played so many minutes. Is he going to have the legs for Tuesday against Leeds?
He's young.
Well, yes, he is young, but he's not had many matches, has he? That's a problem.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
So,
he's got to play.
He was fantastic yesterday, and at times go on.
Sorry, Ed. I was just going to mention
forward. You know, go on.
Quite a few new people in the chat that I've not seen before, and we met at the ground. It was so lovely. We met so many lovely people. I've got Phoebe Grant, Tom Bishop. We sat next to me in Nottingham Now and Then, who I had a great day with, by the way. He was fantastic entertainment.
What a legend he is.
Jack the Steward, obviously Charlie, Nath, Martin, Rebecca. They're all kind of they watch all of our videos, and it'd be great to see you commenting a little bit more. It's really nice to meet you, and just drop comments in. It's lovely to get some new faces in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, we've got 200 people in here. So if you are new in here, if you're usually a backseat passenger, and you are more than welcome to be a backseat passenger and sit back and laugh at us whining about stuff. But if you're new here and you've never messaged before, drop a hi in the chat and we'll shout you out, because we want to extend out the family. But also, to those of you who are here regularly, 45 likes. And Ant's trying to be positive today. But if I told him there's 45 likes right now.
I was just looking at the likes, actually. Come on, guys. Let's have 100, please.
Minimum.
Yeah, to start off with, yeah.
I just want to, while the guys in the chat are sorting the like issue out, right, I just want to touch one thing on Danilo. I loved him. I thought he was brilliant. I'm still annoyed that he hasn't played before. But shout out to Mario. because he did tell us he can't shoot for toffee. He is an absolute bender with his shots, isn't
Mate,
he?
we can't shoot for toffee. It's not just Danilo.
We've got to say, we've got
It's
to
only
say,
Jono that can shoot. Come on.
We'll come on
we
to that.
wasted so many chances.
Yeah, and there has been that. Let's just finish on Danilo. I mean, because he had a guillotine chance. Dina, you captured it beautifully, well timed, by the way, on the vlog. With that one, from the angle you saw it from, Dina, it looked worse than in the actual in-game footage angle, because it really was a good chance, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great chance. I mean, I think we were snatching a bit, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just that final, just when we got in the box, I don't know. We just seemed to get nervous and snatching at shots. Probably taking a touch too many rather than having a go.
Yeah.
Gently.
Tempted.
You don't want to see that.
Well, at least I'm not wearing a wig tonight after I predicted John Joe Shelby, but he's going to score Tuesday.
Oh God, are we really going to see another one of those? I
thought that not just so much snatching at chances. I think because they're not natural goal scorers.
Oh, here we go.
First one of the night. Crypto with the 79. Thank you so much, buddy, for it.
79
let's. I think everyone's more sober tonight than they were on Friday, so I don't know how crazy some of those messages will be. Thank you so much, buddy, as always. Go on, then. Crypto loves interrupting you, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Do it again.
You're talking out.
I was going to say that for me, because we've not got natural finishers, the players that were getting into the box were taking too many touches. They were trying to make sure they got the angle for the shot, rather than just doing a quick shot, which a natural goal scorer would do. They take on that extra player, trying to maneuver themselves into a better position, and that's, I think, what cost us a lot of those chances.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We had the chances. We had the chances to kill that game off, and 2-0 would have killed that game off. They wouldn't have come back from that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's amazing is that they had something like 72% possession, and yet, if you watch all the Wolves podcasts, they all said we dominated the game. Because obviously, from their point of view, all they could see was just creating all these chances and then creating nothing.
Yeah, we did.
We got.
I came out with that analogy the other day, didn't I?
We got a happy chappy in the chat. Well, we'll be dealing with him tomorrow, guys. Don't forget, beat the drop tomorrow at 8 p.m. This bellend will be in there. He's very he's very happy about getting Nathan Jones as the new manager.
Benitez.
Yeah, Lee, glad you got home all right, buddy, and we'll slap you a new one tomorrow. Well, no, I won't because I'm neutral, but the other boys will in beat the drop.
Yeah, just go back to on the previous show, I came out with the analogy that Wolves are like a man that's fantastic at foreplay with no penis. My word, that was just absolutely proven, wasn't it?
Just Matt with the £1 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Absolute legend.
Just Matt.
Again, let's just leave Ant here talking.
Yeah, everyone no one wants him to talk. That's why they keep super chatting.
I was going to say, until that penis podence come on.
Look, I wanted to talk about Mangala as well, because I thought Mangala was brilliant.
I've seen him play, personally.
I'd say that performance reminded me of the one he did against Everton, early season. I think, as you were at the game, weren't you, Van, the away match? As soon as I say the word Ant. Pat with the £2. Thank you so much, Pat, for the super chat.
£2, Pat McWall. What's left in my pocket, lol?
Appreciate it, buddy. But Ez, my question is, I think we're all in agreement, and I think the chat is as well, that Mangala was phenomenal yesterday. Phenomenal. I'm going to slightly tweak the question, because Danilo can't shoot. Freuler doesn't get in a position to shoot. Yatesy's got a 50p head. And Mangala's probably makes Danilo's finishing look like he's prime R9. Where do we get goals from in this midfield?
I don't think we get it from this midfield three.
John Joe Shelby.
John Joe Shelby.
Yeah. From 35 yards.
I think we're relying heavily on the forwards, aren't we?
Yeah, I think that's the case, and it has been all season
Dennis
anyway.
and Jono, isn't it?
who's got us any goals, apart from the front three, and including a 1-year MG dub and
Nick Clark, sorry.
99
Alright,
pence,
put me all
Nick
you like.
Clark.
Nick Clark, thank you so much for the
you very much.
$4.99 with the super sticker. Thank you so much, buddy. Please don't say John Joe. Do you really believe that guy? Let's carry on.
John Joe
Yeah, so
Shelby,
that's
he
the
made
problem,
one.
isn't it? Because we haven't had goals from all around. We've relied on 2 or 3 players for our goals this season. And, saying that's obviously been the issue. We haven't been able to spread it around. We haven't had midfielders running late into the box to get onto headers like Yatesy did last season. He had a 50p head for most of last season. And then all of a sudden it just came right, didn't it? And he got a string of. He gets into. He does this all the time anyway. When he does score, he usually does it in spurts of 2 or 3 games. But other than that, that's going to be that's clearly the issue. And Kyoto can't score either, so I don't know why that name's being thrown in as a potential goal scorer from that middle three. I think we're just going to have to rely on them to just get the ball forward. But what we did see is better transitions from those players. And as far forward as I saw Freuler, and he got the pressing right, I watched him also guiding the others into play and keeping us pushing forward. But I'll get in trouble.
Hey,
Owen
son.
Spence, you absolute legend. Thank you for shutting Ez up, who was going on way too much for my liking.
That's my son there.
Oh, is that your? Oh, it is as well.
Yeah,
I didn't even
yeah.
put 2 and 2 together. Owen, you're a legend. Yeah. Every time Ez shuts up, get Dino's credit card out and shut him up. Yeah, okay. I've seen loads of you in the chat. We know Potter's gone. Thank you all for letting us know, and thank you for proving who was here on time and who wasn't. But yeah, just like he's gone. Let's get some of these comments. I've also opened the Q&A up as well, and then we'll jump straight to Ant. Weezy saying, yesterday we played our best football since we got in the Premier League until the negative substitutions. Just Matt saying Kyoto was never good for us. He's a West Ham fan, by the way. Make sure you're around tomorrow at 8 o'clock for Beat the Drop, buddy. It was never good for us. I don't understand why Palace and then Forest went in for him, to be honest. We'll talk about him in a minute. Crypto saying the message is not paying, complaining she's not getting attention from him. Have a good stream. Cheers, buddy. Go enjoy a foreign film. And Pat saying Awoni in Peno area to finish with a shin shot. So I'm assuming he's talking about how we're going to get our goals. And then Mark saying, hello, why is MGW still on corners? Oh, God.
Because Scarpa's not playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all right, Si, you're forgiven because you're always here anyway, buddy. Yeah, it's without Scarpa playing. I mean, there is no one else who can take corners in the team unless you put Nico Williams on, I guess. But
Loddy, perhaps.
Can I just stop you, mate? We still haven't got to 100 likes from.
Yeah,
from my
that's what I was
record.
putting my
Are
finger.
you serious?
guys. There's 205 of you in here.
210.
210.
210. And only
210.
78 likes. Come on, guys. Do us a favour.
Been fasting.
let's just, guys, let's give you a quick rundown of the last 24 hours we've had, right? So we've had these 3 legends, like literally running around the city ground, putting footage together, freaking praying to the Shelby gods and all this stuff, right? We've had Ez, who was on the toilet for all night.
What? Do you know my intro?
Do you know what happened when you
was
lifted
going to
that
be?
weight?
I know it's not squeaky
It's
bum
not
time,
pretty.
I've been fitting through that eye of a needle. That's what I was gonna say.
Let's say Ez was sick yesterday and he still went to the match and did his workout. He still got his workout in. And then obviously we had the watch along and the player ratings. And then by the time we got the footage together and started finishing editing it, I looked at the clock and it was 4:45 in the morning. So please, just a like would be much, much appreciated. Okay. Has he gone to the toilet again?
Probably.
Just made it move again.
Thank you so much, RJP, for liking. And don't forget as well, once you've liked, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's shocking, isn't it, Mark? I mean, I expect better from you guys usually. Ez has been named and shamed. He's gone. He's gone. I just meant he was chatting shit, but if he's going to admit to something else, that's entirely up to him. Okay. We talked about the midfield. We've talked about how good the centre backs are. Yeah. We're now going to have a quick look forward into some of these run-ins because I'm not going to lie to you. What everyone's been telling me, this is the new sponsor of FFTV. Everyone keeps telling me it will be our home form that keeps us up. Do you subscribe to that notion, Dino?
No.
So that's gone.
Yeah. I think if we're just relying on our home form, it's going to be touch and go, mate, whether we stay up or not. I think we've got to start getting some points away, starting with Leeds.
Okay, let's have a look at our away form, where we've picked up 4 points, 3 of them being from Southampton, and 1 of them being from Everton, wasn't it?
Yeah. We've been
there's another one, and Brighton.
That game. Should have won that game.
Yeah,
we've been
5 points.
Ultra negative away, ultra negative, scared. I think the time has come now where Cooper's got to be more assertive away. Has to be. If he isn't, then he I'm sorry, he's dumb. He's dumb, right? You can't low block like that away when teams are just attacking you for 95 minutes. It's not possible.
And it's not worked, has it? It's not worked.
No, it's not worked so far. So he's got to change it. We've got the best 2 centre backs that we've had all season. Phil.
£1.99, Phil.
I love that. I love that super sticker. It's a fist pump, boom, 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 boom. Thanks so much, Phil. You're an absolute legend. Do appreciate it, buddy. Sorry, Dino, carry on before you were.
Players coming back in. We've got players coming into form again, like MGW. Jono's playing really well. He's got 8 Premier League goals this season.
Yep.
11 overall.
Another couple in the cup, so pretty good. Dennis is starting to come good.
Yep.
You know, nothing against Wood, but him being injured out for the rest of the season probably suits us as a team, I think.
Do you know people take offence to if you actually say that out loud? Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
I think we got him I think we got him far too cheap. I can't believe what a bargain he was.
No, I just don't think he. I've said this before. I just don't think he was right for our play style. It's just proved at the weekend that we've got inside forwards, not wingers or inside wingers.
Sorry,
you know, he needs wingers crossing the ball to him.
It's not his fault that we paid the 19 million.
Absolutely
it's not. It's Giraldi who I blame for that Newcastle stuff. And on this away form, because you are Mr. Positive today, I've seen you happy clapping away.
Mr. Positive. Well, compared to you lot, anyway.
I'm scared. I'm not negative. I'm not positive. I'm at the scared stage. Yeah, I'll be straight. Right?
Look, you'd have to have something missing up here if you weren't a little bit concerned. You know what I mean? I mean, but it was always going to be like this. Okay, in reality, it was always going to be like this.
Was it?
The fact that we've got 9 clubs involved is unprecedented.
If there weren't 9 clubs involved, if this was a normal Premier League season, where do you think Forest would be right now?
Probably where we are.
3rd or 4th from bottom, probably.
No, we'd probably be where we are, but there wouldn't be so many teams involved around us.
Yeah.
And
I think it'd be deserved as well, Wolverine.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Dino.
Certainly going so negative away.
That's the key.
And let's be honest, I know people think we're invincible at home or been invincible at home. We haven't been. It's never been. We've never had 4-0s, 3-0s. It's always been we've scraped. We've had a bit of luck here and there, and we
have got a good home record, you know.
Yeah, we've got. No, I'm not denying that we've got a good home record. I'm just saying that there are many games at home where the keeper's done outstanding saves or they've hit the woodwork a couple of times, and we've been lucky as well. We have had luck ride for us at home.
And you can't say no.
I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in it.
Okay, and were Wolves lucky with their goal yesterday?
You as well have kicked it over the fucking trend. You've missed. If you were good enough, you got it on target. If a ball goes in, just goes in off the post, you say, well, that was lucky, because if it had been 6 inches that way, he would have hit the post and missed. No, you don't.
Would you like how I lit the touch paper there?
Well, let me light it further. Was Wolves' goal lucky or deserved yesterday?
It was a great goal. It was a very good goal. And they thoroughly...
Yeah, but then a ricochet. I think what Wolverine's saying is it ricocheted to him, didn't it?
Yeah.
So what? So what?
So it was lucky. You're just saying it without saying the word.
That's not luck, is it? It's not luck.
It is.
If the player that he ricocheted off had put his body in a better position and blocked it, then he wouldn't have been a ricochet.
Yeah.
Really?
Cafe,
All right, Ant. If I lined all of you up and I blindfolded myself and spun around and turned around and fired a bullet and it hit Dino in the head, would
Why
you be
me?
lucky or unlucky? Just so I can't see it. Would you have been
choose this 'cause
unlucky or
he's not
unlucky
here.
not to be dead?
Neither. It's neither.
It'd skim off my
It
head,
would, be
mate.
called, it would be called fate.
Oh, so you're changing the word luck to
Oh,
fate. I mean,
all
it
right,
says it all.
Mystic Meg.
Look. You ain't going to change my mind. It's a stupid fucking conversation. Shall we move on? Because
All right, let's move on.
I just don't believe that hitting the post means you were unlucky or you were lucky depending on which.
I'm not talking about hitting the post. We're talking about the way it deflected off Worrell straight into their path.
I also don't believe. I've heard this so many times. Oh, well, we should have won, but their goalkeeper had a wildy. Yeah, that's what a goalkeeper's there for. He's there.
Yeah.
He's part of the team. He's there to stop goals. It's not luck that they.
Okay, let me rephrase it then, Ant, to help you. We have Rodale luck at home.
I'm not
I
even
think more
listening to
often
this
than
one.
not, luck's been on our side than not.
What I would say has been quite a few times actually, when on the balance of play, the other team. I would say that there's been times this season at home when on the balance of play, the other team probably deserved more success than they had. However, they weren't good enough to put the ball in the back of the net. You know when Declan Rice hit that penalty and it was saved by Dean Henderson? That's got nothing to do with luck. That's to do with Declan Rice not putting the ball in the corner of the net and Henderson making the save, which a goalkeeper is there to do. That's not luck. You're not lucky because they missed a penalty. It's not luck. That's the point. It's semantics.
Listen. We'll talk about our away form, but my point was originally that we've not been great at home. We've had good results at home, but we've not looked great. We've not turned any teams over. Most of the teams around us in that bottom 9 have had 3 and 4 goals. We haven't had that luxury. And then our away form is absolutely dogged and awful at the minute. I'm hoping that will change this week.
That's where we need to concentrate. Forget the home form. We're okay.
Those.
It's the away form.
So what do you think about this then? What do you think, both of you? What do you think about if we played like we did yesterday, home and away for the rest of the season? Will we be safe?
Which half? First or the second?
Yeah, before the substitution or after the substitution?
Before the substitution. Let's just wipe that out as a mistake. Great name.
I believe we'd be. Yeah, I believe that would be good enough form to get us safe. Yeah. What do you reckon, Ed?
Yeah, I think so. If we play like that, that's the positives out of yesterday. That was probably one of our better performances all round. If we, with the teams that we're up against, especially in the 6-pointers, mate, we've got to take advantage, man. But our results from these 6-pointers throughout the season has been poor, and that needs to change. That's where we're going to get the points to keep us up, not against the likes of Man U and Arsenal and perhaps Liverpool away. They're not really going to be the ones that we should be targeting. We should be targeting these potential.
Problem is, I think we've only got one more 6-pointer, haven't we? That's Southampton.
And Palace as well.
We've got Palace last game.
Sorry, and Palace, yeah. So we've only got 2 out of 10.
Yeah, so we're going to have to rely on the others who are playing a lot of games against each other, getting draws, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for today with West Ham, a draw, because we need them all to draw, don't we?
Well, what happened today? Because
Southampton were really unlucky.
Thank you, Dean, for shutting him up. I do appreciate it. With 1.99, we have to pay to keep him tight.
£1.99, Dean Moffat.
Exactly. Because shout out to Mikey, and Mikey will be on Beat the Drop. By the way, tomorrow we have a rep from every team, apart from Leeds at the moment, because poor Oscar's working, but he is working on a substitute to get in. Or maybe Oscar's just scared that Forest are rolling to Belland Road on Tuesday. But
of all the teams, Leeds are the one that is probably most relevant to us at the moment, isn't it?
Okay, wait to undersell the show, Ant. Well done.
Yeah, Leeds as well. Yeah, so we've got Leeds, Southampton, and Palace as our 6-pointers. Yeah.
Is Leeds a must-win then, Ant?
Oh God, no! Wait, let's not do that right now. Let's not do that right now, please. But yeah, I just want to know, because I was at a roller skate party. Happy birthday to my 8-year-old niece. Yeah, I got to roller skate as well. I haven't done that since I was 18, so only 3 years ago.
We want to see the video.
Yeah, but I was watching Mikey's synopsis on the game, and he seemed a bit disappointed. And he said the goal it went to VAR or something. I've seen nothing of today's football,
No.
but were they unlucky not to get a draw out of West Ham? And how much did we need that game to be a draw? To be honest, and you were watching it, weren't you?
Yeah, I didn't see anything wrong with the goal. It didn't even look, Well, no, actually, no, sorry.
Yeah, he just said that he didn't say it shouldn't have been a goal. He just said it got VAR'd or something.
Yeah, he did get
there's a few
VAR.
players offside,
There were
wasn't there, in it?
loads of players in that line, and the player that headed the ball, to my
Wasn't
mind,
offside.
he was onside.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah. And it's a shame because a draw would have been a really good result for us.
Well,
Before the
they
game, I
had
was
the bar,
kind of-
didn't they,
before
as
the game, I
well?
was kind of unsure, but when I actually looked at the table, I thought, draw would be good.
I think draws with all of them are good, but draws are no good if we're not winning.
Yeah.
So we did pick up
Well,
a point, but anyway,
that's why
it's two lost
sometimes
points.
having one of those teams win, because we've gained a point on Southampton. We've added an extra point onto Southampton through them losing. So maybe if you there's so many teams. That's what makes it difficult, isn't it? There's that many teams. You don't know who you want to bloody win.
How does the chat feel now? I mean, we are 1 point from the bottom three, with no games in hand over those whatsoever. So we're 1 point. So it's Everton, Leicester, Southampton in that order. Everton are on 26, Leeds 26, Bournemouth 27, Forest 27. Are we still confident that we are going to be okay?
You know what I would say, Dino? I would say I've been really confident all season. Right at this point now, with the running we've got, etc., I think it's a lottery. I just think you can't put it. It annoys me when people say Forest are down. Every bloody pundit I see on YouTube, well, Forest are down, and I think, why are you saying that? We're not even in the bottom three.
I know. But if you look at our recent form, we haven't had a win in 6, 7 games now.
1 in 10, yeah.
Yeah, but you still get people saying Leicester and Wolves will be fine, and their form is worse than ours.
Well, yeah.
I'm scared.
I still
like
think
said
we'll be 4 or 5
scared
still in it in the last match, to be honest.
I'm more nervous than I was. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, me too. Actually.
And then again, I'm more positive than I was after seeing how we played. So because those games that game was dire today, West Ham, Southampton.
Oh, it was. The quality was appalling, wasn't it?
Awful.
Did
I don't
either
think
of
that's
them
going to
look
happen
like they
this year,
had
is it,
any
if we do get
momentum?
deducted?
That potentially is going to happen before the end of the season.
Is it really? Okay.
Yeah, they said it's going to be. Yeah, any punishment they get will be put on this season, so it's not going to be dragged over to next season. But that's the report anyway. How much truth there is behind that, we don't really know. We're going off reports.
Can we get some of these comments in from my question?
Yeah.
So Toby Charles thinks we're screwed if we lose to Leeds. Richard says I think we're down. I can't see where we're getting the points from. And it's got to be one of those things that we just pick up points at somewhere we were not expected to.
Yeah, saying that all season.
Yeah,
I know.
I know. But there is, like I say, there were positives from yesterday, and if you can get it right, then we've got a chance. But yeah, I'm a little less positive, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not
Optimistic.
Optimistic, yeah, a little less optimistic than I was a couple of weeks ago. But our form at the moment is just not up there either. But then, like Ants just said, the rest of them are in shit form as well. Really, they're picking up wins here and there, but which makes it look good. But really, all of them are in shit form. That's why we are all down where we are.
Yeah,
and that's why it's so tight.
Leeds result down as a kind of we have to win.
Well, I said 4 points.
Otherwise, we're stuffed. I don't believe that necessarily.
Kind of get a win on Tuesday for me. And,
Does anyone feel? I was just going to say, sorry, and I've just been eating. I'm nearly finished. I'll be fully back in a sec. Does anyone feel that if we lose this Leeds game, it's curtains?
No.
And don't give me your. It's not though. I'm talking about in terms of psychologically. Feeling. Yeah, we know mathematically it's not, and everything.
Feeling. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. No, I understand that. Yeah. I mean,
but do any of you three feel that way about this Leeds game now?
I think we can win it, but I don't think it'll be the end if we. No, I don't.
I don't
This
think a
is so
draw
many
will
bad
be the end. I
Listen,
think
it's not for us either. It's there's so many bad teams down there, as are we. You know, I'm putting us in that bracket as well. We are where we are because of how bad we are. At the end of the day,
Our
whoever's
point-
fault it is, we aren't a good team. But I did see some. I see some hope now because of the players coming back. We've got a good sense. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not going to say it all again, but I just think there are some really crap teams down there. It's a poor division for me.
Well, I put it this way, right? If you look at us compared with the rest of the teams down there, I've said this before, we've won as many games as the vast majority of them. Nobody's. I think there's only a couple that have scored won more games than us. We talked about goals. We scored as many goals as most teams down there. Our problem is letting goals in, which was particularly bad earlier in the season. And now we've got hopefully Lozzie, Niakate, Felipe, and Aurier. I don't think we're going to let that amount of goals in again. So that's what gives me.
I disagree with you on the goals, Ant, if I'm honest with you. I don't think we're scoring
You've
anything.
got a table, haven't you? Give us
We
how
got
many
22 goals. I think we're joint lowest with Wolves, aren't we? 22, 23, something like that. We're joint lowest with Wolves, I believe. I might be wrong.
Can't you get the table up? Because I think that we need to be sure on this. Because
But while you do,
I don't think we have scored a lot of goals less than anybody else down there. Maybe one or two, but the vast majority.
Okay, so I've got it here.
just before you
Lowest
do, I think
goals
just
are...
comment on this. We are relying too much on Jono.
Yeah,
said
we'll come
that
on to that.
last week.
Just very quick. The lowest goal scorers are Everton with 22, and then Forest and Wolves with 23. So after the game yesterday, we pulled one ahead of them.
Yeah,
And that's it. The next closest is Palace on 24,
no difference.
and then even Bournemouth have got 27.
Yeah, so you're not talking a lot of goals, are you? Over a course of 26 games, 25. Sorry.
Well,
20,
Leeds have got 36 goals.
Yeah, they do. Score, they do. I just said there were one or two that have scored a lot of goals.
Leicester have got 39.
Yeah.
I don't remember many games where we've scored more than one goal in the
No, we
game.
haven't, but my point being that neither has anybody else. You've spoken at least 4 other teams here that are level below us or around our goal scoring. So it's not the goal scoring that's the difference. It's the goals conceding. And now we've got those players coming back. We've got Felipe and Niakate. And hopefully Lodgy and Aurier will be back. Well, Lodgy certainly will be. I don't know how bad Aurier is. I think that's a good defence. And I don't think we're going to let in those amount of goals again. Hopefully.
I think you're making a really good point, but you're articulating it the wrong way around. Because let me spin it. No, I'm saying it in a nice way. I'm not even trying to take the piss here. What I'm saying is, I think what you're saying is, we score goals, but not enough to be able to win a game, say more than 1-0. Now we've shored up our defence, therefore maybe 1 goal per game or 2 at a stretch could be enough to get a point or 3 points. Whereas before it was Tesco FC by one, give them 2 free.
Yeah. If you don't let goals in, I mean, it's a simple Cloughesism, isn't it? If you don't let goals in, you've got a far better chance of winning that game. And with the defence that is now built, I think that we've got a better chance of not letting those goals in.
Can we kind of address this comment?
Then we only need to score one. Maybe.
Can we
kind of address this comment? It ain't the end of the world if we go down, but we've got to do everything to stay in here, isn't it? We're not talking about. I'm not looking at next season. I'm looking at this season. While we still got a chance to stay in the Premier League, we've got to take that chance. I'm not looking to see what will happen next season right now. I don't even want to think about it. I want to be thinking about the rest of this season. So, yes, we can't look too far into it. But it's hard to enjoy the ride, mate, when there's so much lying on it. I understand that sentiment that we're here and let's enjoy it, but we're here. Let's stay in it. Let's stay here. Let's do everything we can.
I couldn't agree more. For me, that sentiment, you're entitled to have that sentiment. But when I hear someone say that, I read into it like they almost feel like we don't belong and we fluked our way here from it last year. Yeah, and I don't believe that for a second. I always, in my heart, have Forest is a Premier League club. Yeah, I've always gone on about my 20 that should be. And Forest, they're exactly where they belong. Why I get so passionate and so angry about the way we're playing now is because we are risking not being a Premier League club. And I hate the Championship. I can't deal with 23 years in the abyss again. So while we are here, as I think me and Ant have said it all season, fight to stay here, yeah, and stop thinking about next week. Exactly, Martin. Go on, Ant.
It's a lot easier to stay, believe it or not, it's a lot easier to stay in the Premier League than it is to get into the Premier League. And going down, people make this assumption, and granted, it is often the case, but make this assumption that you will come back. But don't forget, there are an awful lot of other implications about going down. The new stand, for example, has already been delayed a year, and in my belief, that's because of the fear of going down. So if we did go down, it's likely to go out another year, another year, another year. Also, the financial implications are massive. Not just that, sponsorships. Okay, I accept that. Sponsorships, global awareness of your brand. Nottingham Forest as a football club absolutely fucking plummets from being a Premier League club to being a Championship club. When you're a Premier League club, everybody knows you. You are relevant. When you're a Championship club, fucking nobody knows you. You do not matter. And I want our club to be relevant. I'm sick. I'm from the European Cup era, and I'm sick of my fucking team being irrelevant for 20 odd years. We're relevant now. People talk about us. Our matches are televised all over the world. Do you want to go back to the dark ages? Because I don't.
Yeah.
Well said. Dean.
Jonathan, are we being negative? We've said a lot of positive things. Remember the title of what this is? It's We Are Grumpy Old Reds.
Yeah.
But it's there's just different opinions, my friend. There's different opinions, and
I don't think it's about negative. I honestly think the only negative thing about Forest right now is Steve Cooper's tactics. There, I've said it straight.
I think any of us have said, "Oh, we're definitely going down this season." We're not said that way.
The closest I've got is to say I'm scared. And if you're not scared, I don't care what side of the barometer you sit, yeah? If you're not scared, then you don't understand how the Premier League works, yeah? You can keep hiding and saying we're 15th, yeah? The reality is we're 1 point clear with the second toughest running coming in. Yes, it's on paper, I know. But if you're not scared, oh my God, I'm just scared just saying the words out loud. It's just crazy. And yeah, Turbo, we'll worry about that next season. We'll see where we end up. Maybe we'll need Lingard, who knows?
Think we'll make a profit on Chris Wood if we go down?
Well, Newcastle didn't.
If we could remain in this division, I think next year's transfers will be a lot better than this year. I think they've probably learned a lot of lessons this year and wasted a lot of Marinakis has obviously wasted a lot of money, hasn't he?
Well, can we talk about that, Dino? Because there's been a lot of people questioning. Firstly, the amount of likes we've got. We're on 111 with still way over 200 of you in here. But there's been a lot of people. I've been getting into a few arguments on Twitter over the last few days saying, I know, imagine. They're saying that the recruitment was crap. Yet I remember most Forest fans, if not all Forest fans, and we've seen the chants at the ground, 30 players bought. No, I'm not going to say it here because we've got, the likes of Phoebe now. We can't try not to swear.
Who gives a fuck? Yeah.
Thank you, Ant. But it's weird, isn't it, how people have changed their perception of the transfer window. Where do you sit on the transfer window as a whole, including the summer and the Jan one, or speak about it separately, however you want? And I'll come around to both of you guys as well. And chat, I want to know, how do you feel our transfer policy has been and the players we've brought in? Have they been good enough? Because there's a lot of people turning on it on Twitter, and I'm just interested in people's opinions. And you're free to have whatever opinion you want. Go on, dude.
Does this comment link in with what we're talking about now? Because I don't agree with what Smithy's saying here, to be honest, about Marinakis and how the Forest public are seeing him. I think he's got our backing. I think it's Cooper that seems to be.
I think he's spot on. I think you're misreading his message. If he sacked Cooper, he's saying that he would be the most hated man in Nottingham.
Yeah, he's right.
And that, to me, is frankly appalling. Yeah,
which I think is wrong. Yeah, he shouldn't be. Yeah. No, absolutely. He's invested his money, and I know that there was a comment about him going into the changing room afterwards. I don't agree. I don't think that's right, but it's his money. It's his money. It's our club. I support it. It's our club.
I'm not sure he would have done that,
I don't think he would have done that, but there were.
I think he did.
Office.
I think he did, because you saw him marching off after the game, vexed, man. Vex. I
Right.
don't know if you guys saw it in the stadium. He
I
was
didn't see it.
fuming.
Yeah, but if
Can we
he was
answer this
angry, if he was angry at the substitutions, what would be the point in going and bollocking the players? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't
No,
matter. That's
it's
why
not
I
just the
say-
substitutions. That's part of what they said he was kicking off about. It's like
Right.
almost, if you like, the straw that broke the camel's back on it. Go on, Dean.
So I was just going to answer the question you originally said about the
Yeah.
transfers.
Yeah.
So listen, you're not going to buy 30 players and they're all going to click brilliantly. But I think we have. It's a bit of fortune, a bit of unfortunate. So we've picked up some great players. You know, the likes of Felipe, brilliant. MGW's worth the money for me. You know, Danilo, I think, is going to be a great investment for us.
Just one distraction for a bit,
Honestly,
really, you know?
she's so grumpy today. She should be on here. She's terrible today. That's another story. I think we signed too many. I know that sounds really daft, but we signed too many. And we signed a player that was injured, and he's still injured. You know, unlucky with Bianconi where he got injured. But we signed so many players, and then we were even with 30 players, we were kind of short on the left and short up front. And then, like I said, we signed a target man when we didn't really play that style of football. We kind of played counter-attacking, so surely you're looking for some pace. So I think overall, I think they've done a good job because we've picked up the likes of Scarpa, who is not playing, and I don't know fucking why. Danilo, we've got a good crop of players in there, and we did have some left over from last season. But you know, it's like any business. You make some good decisions, you make some bad decisions. Whether it's Cooper, whether it's Marinakis, whether it's the guys that got the guys and girls that got the sack in the scouting group first. Because remember, he was getting a new contract and they got the sack. So obviously they put it down to the recruitment and not necessarily Cooper.
Do you think that's the case, or do you think it was the case that the fans' outcry to keep Cooper, that someone's head had to roll? You know what I mean?
No, I totally.
You don't
100%
think so?
No, not
So
at all.
that means you would believe that the stories that Cooper was going to get sacked in October were BS then?
I saw more than one interview where Cooper let out that he's the coach and he doesn't make all the decisions on the transfer. He said it's like a group decision. So that I would imagine that group is Marinakis, Cooper.
Yeah, you're missing my point. What I'm saying is, did someone's head have to roll? Was it either him or them?
No, I think you've just seen, if all the rumours are true, Marinakis goes storming in. He probably had one of those storming in moments and got rid of the scouting team. That's what I would say. I don't think he would do that and then give Cooper a longer contract. I think he was right at that point to stick with the manager. And he still should stick with the manager now, in my opinion.
I think he was wrong at that point. I think he was wrong at that, but I think he would be right now to potentially hold. That's my opinion. It's too late. It's too late. I mean, I'll say it straight. We could have had Emery. Look, do you remember when Villa came to Forest? How bad they were, man. You were at that game, weren't you? They were horrific.
Sorry, which game? I was reading the comments. Sorry.
Villa, the Villa game.
Yes.
They were horrific, man.
They were.
The one where Dennis scored and then Ashley Young equalised. And then look at them now.
Yeah.
Look at them now. They're a completely changed team. So any changes, this isn't a Cooper in, Cooper out debate, but any changes needed to have happened in and around that period to allow a new manager to come in to build their style, their ethics, etc., and their philosophy. Now it's panic time. If you do it, you're panicking. That's the thing with it now. Chelsea can do it because they're in nomad land, aren't they? It doesn't matter to them. They can take their time and recruit. But anyone who does it now, Leicester have done it. Panic mode for me. If we do it, and there's only two more that can really do it. I mean, there's even talks that Southampton are thinking about it again. I mean, how many managers have they gone through in one season? So, but this is the Premier League, and I still don't think that Forest fans understand that the Premier League is so cut and throat that managers can be fired for 3 losses in a row. That's enough to build the pressure up enough for a manager to need to go. And like, we're not new to it. How many managers have we gone through in the last 10, 15 years ourselves, you know?
Ridiculous.
And I think that's the thing. I think the scars are so deep on Forest fans that they're like, I'd rather just not have a sacking than do something that may save things. I don't know how this is.
I don't know whether Marinakis has got the balls to fire Cooper because he's so loved by the fans. You just heard it in the stadium.
Yeah.
Just everyone to.
Well, that surprised you, didn't it, Dino, yesterday? Because obviously
it really did surprise me yesterday. I mean, the atmosphere was phenomenal.
Season, though.
I was going to ask you about that. I was going to ask you about Dino because every time a lot of Steve Cooper songs come up, and every time I thought, I wonder what Dino's because you've not experienced.
I was
that
surprised.
Before,
yeah,
it's like that every game, mate. It's like that every game.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Yeah. Which is fantastic in a way because the last thing you want is a toxic environment when you're struggling.
Yep.
100%. They're the worst
On
environment.
game day, it needs to be like that. Game in, game out. You can get your thoughts after the game. You can think about, have your say, whatever. But once they've crossed the white line, we all want them to win at the end of the day. You know, it's not rocket science.
Honestly, can't knock the fans this season at all. The fans have been fantastic. Sorry, go on.
Fans have been brilliant.
You can be 100% Cooper out, but when you get in that ground, you sing that man's name because those players don't want to feel toxicity and negativity. So it doesn't matter what your personal feelings are. When you're in that ground, you support that team.
Not even in the ground, Dan. Not even in the ground. When I was Cooper out before the World Cup, when we're going into our next games, I still want to win the damn game. It's got nothing to do with that. All that stuff parks until after the match. But I get what you're saying, the direct environment that's around them on that.
Right, this is quite key. You remember last season, we went through the playoffs and went to the final, where people like Fulham, who got promoted, were already making their strategy and plans with a fairly settled side that had come down. So we've been out the top league for 23 years. All of a sudden, we go right to the wire and we win at the playoff final. And then we've got 6 players playing in the first team on a regular basis that were loaned that were going back. So I can see that. I can see where the panic came from, and I can see why we had to buy so many players. If we stay up, if I was Marinakis, I would not if I was Marinakis. I believe that Marinakis will sit down with Cooper and say, that was mental last year, and that shouldn't happen again. Now we can actually plan properly. What are your plans for the next season? Just to gauge whether he's the right manager to take us forward or not. Oh, thanks, Duncan. Brilliant.
Oh, what an absolute legend. He's not
great bloke, you know, now and then. He really is.
Turn left for £10. You have reached your destination.
Such a great bloke. Love spending time with him Saturday.
You're an absolute legend, Dino. Just a quick word on what a lovely guy he is, because you spent, and you as well. You both spent. You know, you chauffeured him around a little. We gave him the full FFTV treatment, and you, Anne. All right, sorry. But, you know, Dino was sat next to him, and Ez was his dedicated driver for the day. So what a lovely guy he is. And he's just
football after as well. So, and
just a genuine bloke.
And
absolute genuine bloke.
He had a fantastic shirt on as well.
Yes.
Yeah. European Cup winning away yellow shirt. Fantastic.
And the story he's got with his health.
He's into his fitness. He's so chuffing fit. I felt proper fat boy. I really did.
I need to work on my fitness regime if he's doing that, mate. But yeah, no, what a fantastic guy all round, and really was a pleasure to spend a day with not just somebody that we've got to know since we started the channel, but he's become like obviously a big supporter of the channel, but somebody who hasn't got to the games, and we really do look out for our fans. You know, we've taken quite a few fans this season to games who've not managed to go for years, you know, and certainly it's been like their only game of the season so far. So we do look out for you guys. So yeah, anybody who is genuinely interested, keep a lookout. You know, we'll always let you know if there's a ticket available.
And not just that, is sorry to interrupt you, but we'll be doing more of that. So if we can get hold of some spare tickets from the games, especially the members, just make sure you're making us aware. Maybe you guys haven't been able to get to a game for years. Maybe financially you can't afford to. Everyone's got their own different reasons for why they can or can't get to a game.
You just can't get tickets.
Or you just can't get tickets. Yeah, just keep in touch with us as you always do. And you know, I really like that, and I'm sure the boys who go for us, the Ez's, the Amsterdinos, Simons, etc., they'll be happy if we get seats next to you. They can host you for the day and things like that. So that's something we want to do as a member perk as well. So
right near the ground. So
I even took Wolverine to one. I mean,
exactly. I got to experience a member perk. Yeah. I thought you were talking to me, says Nathan. Nah, Nathan,
Oh,
not
no.
compared
You're
to
the
your
better looking
brother.
brother out of the two, buddy. I told you that.
Exactly, yeah. Just on that vote, and I just want to move the topic forward slightly, of do you feel we are down if we lose to the Leeds game that we asked the chat? 45% said yes. Remember, we're talking feel, we're not talking mathematical here. 40% said
now,
no,
aren't you?
and 16% said unsure. So, very interesting to see that. But this is the subject I want to move us on to, and
Hang on,
is...
before you do that, can I have my little, very quick two-penneth on the signings? I think with our signings,
Yeah.
we threw a lot of shit at the wall, and some of it stuck, and we have bought some fantastic players. Some of them haven't worked. That happens. Even the best teams in the world buy players, and it doesn't work. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I think that, in general, I think that we've bought enough good players to make a good team and a good squad. So that's where I am on that situation.
Yeah, I agree. There's some got to go out, haven't they? Because obviously,
Yeah.
I don't know. Just I keep thinking about O'Brien missing out on the squad. Sad.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't
I-
get that. No, I do get it. It's a non-football thing, despite what they say. But anyway,
I've got to say, I think from my 2 pence on it as well, I've been very happy with the recruitment. Yes, we brought some drivel. I would say our summer window was better than our January window. Having said that, I would say our best player has been bought in our January window. It's a tough one because obviously you've got Scarpa and Danilo in there.
Well, we talk about Scarpa.
I've got to pull you up there. I do actually agree with what you're saying, but I have to mention Scarpa, Danilo, and Felipe. They were got in January.
I know, but the point I'm making is Scarpa and Danilo have not been used, and that's a
Where is
frustration.
Scarpa now? Why? Why is he not
Well,
even making a difference?
let's talk about
Everybody
Scarpa
knows.
because this is where I think the window has fallen over. Is there's been certain players that haven't been used at the right time, and there was too much Cooper favourites FC in the first half. If you look at it, loads of players that we've called out regularly. You had Cook, who was crap, Lingard, who was crap, Worrell, who's been crap. There's been loads of players that come in and they were stuck and persisted with when the likes of Dennis were just shoved to the sideline and forgotten about, yeah? And slowly but surely, Cooper's coming round to sense on the right players. But in terms of the Scarpa one, I think this is either another Barde or he's crap. It can't be anything else, can it? Like he can't go from golden balls in Brazil to not get on the bench in Nottingham. It literally makes no sense. Or he's an Omar Richards and he's got some fractured leg that the medical staff didn't pick up. And you're nodding.
I was just going to say, maybe, just maybe, there's a little injury we're not being told about. I'm just guessing because other than that, I can't understand. I mean, he wasn't even on the bench on Saturday.
He should have made the bench. He must be injured, or
got to be an injury.
him and Cooper have fallen out over.
But you're
Cooper
looking
not
at it
learning
one
how
game
to-
in isolation. It's been months.
Yeah,
But that's the culmination, isn't it? The fact that he wasn't even on the bench against Wolves. You know, there's got to
Yeah,
be
but
something.
on this
It's because
one,
of
on
Rubik's
this one, he
Cube,
was
went to
declared
his
injured.
To the Rubik's Cube. That's what it
He was
is.
declared injured, yeah, wasn't he? He was, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. As he was, Cooper said in his press conference, he said IU, Scarpa, and some, I can't remember who the third one, Aurier, have all picked up knocks. He didn't specify what those knocks were. But was IU on the bench? He was.
Yes.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah,
So
he was.
again, it's a bit of sandbagging from Cooper on it. I think Dino. I think there's a falling out, or a not necessarily a falling out. I don't know how you could fall out with Scarpa. He just seems too nice a guy. But I just think philosophy-wise,
Didn't Scarpa go into Cooper's office and ask why Loddy and Danilo weren't playing?
no. Lodi went in to ask about
Loddy
those
went
two.
in, that's why they
Yeah.
weren't playing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which tells you there is something going on there, then Dino, doesn't there? That if Lodi's gone in to ask about Scarpa, then the players are noticing it as well.
The guy.
And Chad, what
Scarpa's
do you
class. It's Scarpa's class. I don't know why he isn't in the starting lineup. Never mind the subs bench. So, I think whatever happens behind the scenes, everybody's not going to get on all the time. And I know if it gets too toxic and there's a really bad apple, then you've got to get him out. But I can't see Scarpa being a bad apple, for God's sake.
No,
How could he be? But he's got the credibility to play. And with the games he has played, he's looked like the best passer I've seen in a long time.
I suppose the other issue that we have is that his best position is on the right side of the right midfield.
Cracking point.
And we have Jono there, and Jono's not being benched, so that is obviously going to limit his opportunities. So maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe just.
And we know he can play across the line, though.
Yeah.
I agree with you. His best position is the right side.
I'm just trying to put forward an explanation as to why. Maybe we're overthinking it, and it is just something as simple as it's got a knock that we're not being told about.
Here we go, right on cue. Crypto shouting that up. Wrong button. I heard Cooper fell out with Scarpa because he's jealous of his hair.
Crypto Rider. I heard Cooper fell out with Scarpa because he's jealous he has hair.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, man. He has got cracking hair.
Misses anyway, Ben.
Yeah, I thought you'd gone Crypto. What happened to the foreign subtitled movie? I gotta say, all the Brazilians are pretty damn stylish on that team, aren't they? Scarfa's got fantastic hair, but anyway. I wish Danilo would go back to blondes because I was eating while you guys were talking about it. Him and Dennis, I don't know why. They both in the 20s, their numbers. It was just throwing me as well.
You weren't alone. A lot of the fans around me didn't realise he was actually on the pitch until that second half. I was like, oh yeah, that's Danilo, innit? He hasn't got his phone locked. So, yeah.
Let's get a petition started.
And Johnny had that brown tinge on his hair, so he looked a little bit different. He looked more like Gibbs White, so it was hard to tell him apart, to be honest.
What was going on with his hair? Because he had, as well know, he had henna in his hair by the looks of it.
It looked like henna, didn't it?
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah. Okay, so I want to now move the conversation away from the transfer window. I want to talk about this, and I think this is the most important topic of the night. So chat, get your thinking hats on, and we got to think about how, well, let's address the subject first, and then we'll dissect it a bit. The word momentum, for me, is now, in my opinion, the most important thing. I know you've talked a lot about positives, for example, and Dino, in the performances. I think we're creeping into that stage of the season now where screw performances is points. Yeah, you'll see it as well at the other end of the table with Arsenal and Man City. They'll take a scrappy 1-0 now all the way to the end of the season rather than go for their glossy, elegant style of football. And I feel it's going to be the same way now in the bottom side of the league. However, it's got to be about momentum, surely. Does it not? Because if we can build some momentum up, and that's why I'm so angry about yesterday, because 3 points, look at Bournemouth now. Bournemouth are riding this crest of a wave. I think they've won, is it 2 or 3 in their last 4 or 5? Yeah. And they're suddenly, this is what I want to give you. Bournemouth are on the exact same points of Forest with 1 worse goal difference. They're a place underneath us. But I personally think, and this is a subjective opinion, obviously, that they feel more jubilant than we do. Because they were 19th 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think a lot of these questions will be answered by the panel tomorrow. We'll see how they feel about it, because maybe they're looking at it with a positivity because they have got a bit of momentum, and I probably agree with you from Bournemouth's point of view, but they seem to be the only ones really. The rest of them are still very scrappy. 1 win in 5, 1 win in 6, I mean, it's a little bit better than we are at the moment, but that's why tomorrow's stream is so intriguing, and so interesting. So guys, definitely make sure you
it's a great watch, it really is.
8 o'clock tomorrow, yeah. So guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow, because it'll be a fascinating listen to hear what the others are feeling, because we are trying to be positive, and there were positives to take out, but Wolverine's right. We need to get some momentum. And what bothers me is that looking at Villa at the end of the week, how they played yesterday. Yes, Chelsea are shocking at the moment. With the players that they've got, they should not be in that position, but they got easily turned over yesterday, and Villa looked like a very good team, and they do under that manager. I'm a bit gutted, because I remember when Emery came in, I looked at him and thought, he's not the kind of manager I'd want in a relegation battle. as soon as he came in, they weren't in a relegation battle. He 29 points out of last 15 games, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, they're on 41, top
Yeah.
half now. Yeah.
Nearly 2
Ninth.
points.
They're
a
ahead
game.
of Fulham. They're ahead of Fulham.
They're ahead of Fulham. Yeah, they're into the top 10 now. They're ninth, aren't they? Yeah, 2 points a game is promotion form, or it's championship form. So they've made the right move at the right time, and that's where you're seeing that the momentum definitely plays a part.
I think they'll drop off again, though. I don't think any of us can expect momentum to the end of the season. I think we've just got to scrap. Phil, he sums up everything that I would say, to be honest.
Well, it's a point that I think
got to scrap the points here and there,
and
and 3
the
points
last
from a game.
the drop. We're looking at how many wins that the teams need, and we're talking now. We need another 4 wins. You've had 6 wins all season. How are you going to get another? How are you expecting another 4 wins?
Yeah.
Out of your last 8 or 10
Great
games?
point.
Yeah, so it's the same for all of us, and it'll be very interesting to gauge your reaction over kind of like the feeling from the rest of the teams around us tomorrow. So, guys, definitely make sure you tune in and don't miss that one.
And also, guys, yes or no in the chat. Are you happy for Ant to be the one representing your feelings and thoughts on Beat the Drop? Or do we need to consult this out? So give us a yes or no. If you remember, let's see some Ant emojis if Ant's the guy you want in there. But yes or no if you're a non-member, because it'll be Ant representing the forest side of things. But yeah, Dino, he said, no, you don't want Ant. Go on, Ant. You're desperate to say something.
He was joking, by the way, but I have to.
Look, Villa away is going to be really fucking difficult because anybody away is really difficult for us. But that match, Chelsea actually battered Aston Villa. Chelsea had that many chances. Yeah, okay.
And they want you with the wine tomorrow, by the way, they're saying. Crypto did.
But also I was going to say that obviously they were playing away to Chelsea. They played a very low block, Villa did, and caught them on the break. They won't be playing like that against us at home. I'm not saying we're going to be. I'm just saying it's a different kind of game. So you can't always take a lot from looking at a team's previous games. I mean, I watched Manchester United today. They were dog shit, right? That doesn't mean that when they come to us, they're going to be dog shit. But we'll see.
Can Ant be sober next time? Tommy's really got it in for you lately, hasn't he?
He hates me, doesn't he? Go on. No, I nearly, but I didn't buy it. I nearly.
Well, Ant, and speaking of people that love you, this is one of your fanboys here, Richard. Will Ant be sampling any vino beforehand?
It's possible.
I gotta say to you guys, right? Ant is really excited about this one tomorrow. He's gagging to get his teeth into a few of those guys.
We couldn't get him out of it if he wanted to be honest. And now
he was ready to do it last week, I think. So regardless if you want him or not, as says, you got Ant. You've got Ant. I just want to come to you on the momentum thing, because I think it's an interesting topic. How do you feel about the situation? Who do you think has momentum in the bottom 9? And do you think we've got any momentum? Because let's not forget, we took a point yesterday. I know it almost feels like we lost, don't it? But we did take a point. Who's got the momentum here in your eyes?
The 2 teams or all of the teams?
In general, if you were looking at it now and painting a picture, start with us. Where do you feel we are momentum-wise? Do we have any or not? And then how you painting the rest of the picture there?
Yeah, I know it sounds strange looking at our last 7 games, including the week yesterday, but I think we have some momentum because of, like I said, players coming back, starting to get a regular side now. He kind of knows his best 11, in my opinion. Now it's took a while, but he knows his best 11. I think we're getting momentum. I think he's obviously been told or decided to press a bit more because we saw that at the weekend, and. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. I just don't think we're going to go like 2 or 3 games on the bounce where we win. I just don't think that's possible for us this season.
But do you think anyone will out of those teams?
No, I don't. And I think Bournemouth, they must be flying high at the minute. I think they'll get sucked back down again because they're not good and they've not got a big squad.
They're at home, by the way, they're at home to Brighton on Tuesday night.
Yeah, but look, you remember when the new manager bounce of your mate and went to Everton?
Yeah.
The next game, was it Arsenal?
It was Arsenal, yeah.
They were brilliant.
Yeah.
And now look, they've just gone poo. So I just think it's literally pick up as many points as you can and just like close the season off and start again next year.
Just fight for it, isn't it? It's a dog fight right now.
You've just got to have balls. And I saw
The
some of that on.
The biggest source of my optimism now is the players we're getting back. The fact that Niakarte's back, the fact that Awonye's coming back, the fact that Dennis is now playing, the fact that Danilo's back in the side. These are where I get the fact that hopefully Yatesy will come back soon. These are things that are giving me optimism.
And what gives me optimism?
Other teams, by the way, are losing players to suspension. I mean, look at Wolves. Neves is out for the next he's out for the next 2 games.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to be massive for them. And they were shit with him in the team. So,
Spacebar, congrats on that great result today, by the way. And I'd love to see him go down as well, buddy.
Yeah.
It is interesting, isn't it? Just touching on Everton, because I mean, Dino, me, you, and Simon, I remember watching that Arsenal game, and I've seen a lot of Everton this season. And you look at it, and you're like, they were pressing. They really had Arsenal on the ropes and everything. And we had Mikey on Beat the Drop 2 weeks ago, just after they'd beaten, I can't remember who it was, and he was swinging his dick around. But they're now sitting 18th. They're sitting 18th. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's absolutely crazy.
I mean,
what gives me hope is
bad
that
players, bad teams are bad teams. Okay, you can bring a manager in, and look, I do agree that there is this thing about a new manager. It's not a new manager bounce. I think it's a thank fuck we got rid of him bounce. Actually, so it's not always. That's why teams are, even when they've not replaced the manager and they've got a caretaker trainer in charge.
It's a relief, probably.
But yeah, it's a relief. Oh, we've got rid of him, and is that relief? But it never lasts. It never lasts.
Yeah.
Ed's gone. He interrupted you.
I mean, what's giving me hope is that I don't think it's going to take a lot of points to be safe. You know, 33 might be enough to keep you safe this season, because there's so much in it, and that's what 6 more points for us. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot looking at it right now.
Sounds very easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
It'll be over by next week. We'll be up.
So what do you think it is now, Ez? What do you think it now is points wise?
I think 33 will keep you up. So I think 31, 32, you're probably going to get relegated with that. But 33 might be enough to keep you up. Even with our predictions.
That's low, man.
It's
really
low.
low. I think it's going to be really low.
Season, isn't it?
Just because there's so many 6 pointers. Just because there's so many 6 pointers between those teams, and it's actually ridiculous when you go. If you guys haven't already done that, we'll try and pin it in the chat at some point. But that predictions that we did for the rest of the season with all the teams, and if you look at some of the fixtures that we're all up against, you know, even if you put them all down for draws, it's a low tally to keeping people up, you know. So that's the thing that's keeping me going. Now it's going to be maybe 32, 33 points that will be enough to keep you up, and I think we can get.
Well, I want Tommy to do it in the chat. Dino, I don't know if you've still got the link to hand. If you could chuck it in the chat. Tommy, I know you're in the chat. This is the kind of crap you love to do, and I'd love to know the positions you end up with. And if you do it, just send us a screenshot of it on Twitter so we know where you end up. And if you listen to the podcast later on, we'll put it in the description somewhere as well, so you can find it.
I'll drop in the chat for it. It is worth doing it for all of you. You can predict all the scores I'll be. I just went 2-1, 1-1, or 2-1 the other way. I didn't want to do the scores, but just to get the points. And I got us on 32. I think between three of us, we got 31, 32, 33, or 30, 31, 32. Would keep a team up.
I did not.
Just so many people in it. There's not one team that's like Derby, 11 points at the end of the season, sort of thing.
Some interesting point numbers coming.
I did mine with 5 teams still potentially getting relegated on the last day of the season. So still 5 teams in the back. But you know, you guys put yours in and see what you think. But I think that's what saves us: the amount of 6 points, the amount of teams that are going to be playing each other over the next 10 games, 10, 11 games, depending on how many we've got left. People going on about this, West Ham having games in hand. One of those games in hand is against Man City. So
that's their only game in hand now.
Yeah, that is their only game in hand. Overall,
that's in the chat now, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of you have a crack at it. Obviously later, stay watching right now. I don't see
a while, and you will have to go back over games like from game weeks 5, 6, 7.
You have to go back.
To do that. to get all your
Yeah, that
scores
threw
in.
me. So the Leeds game should have been
Yeah.
like week
Leeds,
11
yeah.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So you'll see it because it's not blanked
Yeah.
out at the top on the
Yeah,
week
there's little
number.
circles, and where it's not blanked out, there's some old game weeks there that got postponed for whatever reason.
But I know Tommy will love that. He loves that kind of thing, and a lot of you guys will as well. Okay, just a couple.
Doing that actually. It's interesting.
Just a couple of quick things from me. This prize from Football Prizes, don't forget about it. It's pinned in the chat. There's loads of tickets left. There's 149 in total. Only 27 tickets have gone so far. It's for the signed, framed away kit from the whole squad. And if you hit ticket number 50, remember, they don't give them out chronologically. It's randomized. You then get to pick the home, the away kit, or the third kit as a bonus prize. So please make sure you go do that. I've been talking with the guys at we've been talking with the guys at Football Prizes, and basically we're trying to get more and more better suggestions for them for the prizes you guys want to see as well. I think the prizes have been absolutely on point at the moment. And what they've literally said to us is, the Forest fans seem to really enjoy these giveaways. As long as they keep taking part in it and everything, they're happy to source these type of prizes. So if it's something that is interesting you, it's the away kit. It's signed by the whole team. Go and check out the link that's pinned to the chat and go grab your tickets. Remember, you don't need to grab one. You can grab as many as you want. And I think that one framed looks really good. It's the one Ant's wearing right now, actually. It's the one Ant's wearing right now. Even though it's not my favorite kit of all time, framed, it looks quite nice for me. So there you go. There's the quick plug on that. And with that, I want to move into the Q&A with you guys in the chat. There's loads of questions in here, so I'm going to pick a few randomly out. First one's from 1865 Red. How many promoted teams survive on the last day, FFTV? I don't know. Is that a question or a statement? I don't know if 1865 Red is still there. I'm trying to think back to... I can't remember who went down last year. It was Norwich, Burnley, and Watford. So Watford were the ones who... No, Watford had stayed up the season before, hadn't they?
There's generally one or two, isn't there? One, two, or three. There's the three at the bottom and then two above that are generally going for the last day. Any one of those could go down. So there's one or two above the bottom three, from my memory. And it's obviously a cup final if you stay up and you invade the pitch and stuff. Great. Look forward to that. I hope we don't get to that.
We don't condone invading pitches on FFTV, though. Dean's talking metaphorically.
Well, yeah.
But what you tend to find, it's another pattern. You know how I told you there's always a pattern of the team that drops from up straight down to the bottom, aka Palace. You always have with the three that come up, one that flies and has a great season, and then the second season has second season syndrome, and then you have the other two that fight it out, and one of them goes down or both of them goes down. Now, usually, the team that finishes third or comes through the playoffs is the team that has that flying season. Obviously, in typical Forest style, it's not been that case. And, go on, Yusuf.
No, I was going to say, incidentally, for all those that are saying, if we go down, we'll just come straight back up again. Two of the teams that have got relegated last season are outside the top six at the moment. So there's no guarantees.
Absolutely. No. Absolutely. Okay, let's go for the next question here from Owen. Ez, I'm going to point this your way. Would you start a Awoniyi against Leeds? And if so, who of the front three gets dropped? This is such a good question, Owen, that not only Ez is going to get asked it, but all of them.
I was just thinking, I'm glad you asked Ez this one.
Yeah. Guys in the chat. Owen, you've nailed a hell of a question here, matey. Yeah, the rest of you start answering that question in the chat. Oh, good luck. I'm glad I'm hosting tonight.
Yeah, if they were all fit and ready to play, I wouldn't change the starting lineup from yesterday. I'd start with the same team because I think that might be our best attack again. We're going to have to play counter-attack from away from home. So I would probably start with the same team as yesterday because I was really impressed with the middle three for a start. And I was really impressed with how Gibbs White linked up with Dennis and gave us that option down the left hand side when we've been so right hand side centric. That's not even, I don't know if that works. But yeah, so focused on attacking down the right-hand side and gave us a different option. So I'd actually start with what we started with yesterday, if all of it and they're rearing to go. My only concern, and I've said, is about Danilo, whether he's got the legs. But let's hope he has. You're right, he's a young lad, he should be able to. But the fact that he's not had many games, he hasn't had a run of games at all. That's the only concern I have over him.
At that age, mate, you can run around forever.
Well, yeah, you hopefully.
I can confirm that, being the same age as him, I can confirm that.
But okay, let me throw.
47, is he? Is he 47?
How the hell did you get me to 47? You freaking.
Well, if you're gonna go up that
you're
way,
gonna lie,
we're
we're gonna lie as well. Yeah, if you're gonna lie. But okay, let me just throw a curveball in then. If Yatesy's fit, would you throw him in tomorrow? And if so, who for?
Stop. We're going to add that question. Let's just finish this question, right? That's a good question. Dino, and still needs thinking time on this Awardie one. I think he's trying to figure out
tactics,
how many 12s and 11s are in the team, yeah? You go next, Dino.
Yeah, no worries. I think he'll keep the same team. The only thing, I don't think he'll play, I don't think he'll start one year. I just think he'll stick with that same team. I would say that if Yates is fit, he might play him. But obviously, we're going to come on to that. What I would do, so that's what I think Cooper will do. What I would do, I would play 4-2-3-1 away.
Would you?
I'd bring it 1 year back. I'd bring it 1 year in.
Okay. And have you got the
It's not worked
other
away so far, has it? So that's why I changed
Yeah,
it.
who are you dropping, Dino? Good. Well spotted, Ant. He's nearly got away with it. Well spotted.
Am I dropping for who?
For 4-2-3-1, you're gonna have to.
Even if you went 4-2-3-1, how are you fitting him in?
I'd drop Freuler. And I'd have Yates and Danilo in midfield.
Well, that means you're dropping Mangala as well.
Yeah, dropping Mangala
Yeah.
and Freuler.
That's
Hey,
what
he
I'd
didn't
do.
think
That's
about
what I
that.
think.
He didn't think about that. Would you drop Mangala?
No, can I play 12?
Oh, he's doing that.
Pearson did it, didn't
And
he?
he rubbed off
When he
on
did
it,
his
mate.
first team sheet for Forest, his missus said, "You've got 12 players."
Yeah, that's right.
He said, "Look at this team. What do you think to this? It's really good." He says, "You got 12 players." When Pearson became manager, that's one of his famous stories. So if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, and me.
No, you're not. Dino,
not
think
a play
about who you're
role.
going to drop, and then we'll get Ant's answer.
I told you we were going to drop. I'd just play Yates and Danilo in midfield, Young with legs, and then.
So you are going to drop Mangala as well?
Yeah. Not
Harsh.
through any fault of it. It's just that's my formation that I'd play away because nothing else has worked so far this season.
I've just won the signed shirt on the football prizes. What, did you get ticket number 50? You lucky bitch!
No, Aurier.
No.
Aurier.
Wait, are you the Antonio?
No, Aurier. It's only been done
Orient
tonight.
shirt.
Oh, it got done to. Oh my god, I didn't even know. Bill was ill, wasn't he?
Oh, he did say he was gonna buy it, yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations, mate.
Where's my music thing gone? There it is. There it is. Congratulations, sponsorship Stone. Well done.
He's one of our own.
He's one of our own. Can I ask a massive favor, buddy? When you get it, can you send us a picture of it? So we can see you gloating because it looks
Send it on Twitter.
fantastic.
Yeah, send it through on Twitter and we'll repost it.
Yeah, send it on Twitter or
Well done.
WhatsApp. If you WhatsApp us, we'll get it up there and we'll bring it on one of the videos as well. Congratulations, man!
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Forest fans won a Forest prize draw. That's a fix, isn't it?
So that's been the draw's been done.
Since it's exclusive to this channel, it is likely to be somebody that watches this channel. I've got to say that.
It is, yeah. So we are the only channel doing this. So you guys, you're getting the good shit from us. But yeah, make sure if you want the new draw today, which is the away kit, fully signed by the whole squad team, and framed as well. These frames are really expensive, by the way. Yeah, I think the
75
frame
quid.
alone.
75 quid to have it. framed.
75 quid for the frame as well, and they look absolutely fantastic. So, of course, no problems. My daughter.
If they did a Wood or a Shelby signed shirt, would it be great if Spacebar won it?
Got to be in it to win it.
You know what I want to know is who won the Worrell shirt from the freebie in the Aurier
Who's
one.
going to own up to that?
Shipster did who won the shirts? Because there was a Worrell one and a McKenna.
No. No, he's got
No
the ticket
way.
number 50.
No
He's
way.
got that.
You've got the Worrell shirt.
Yeah. No, the ticket number 50 was a choose your own shirt, wasn't it? Choose.
He just won ticket number 50 as well. This is fixed. Wait, are you serious, sponsor?
No. I think he's won the Worrell shirt, not the Aurier shirt.
No, the ticket number 50 for the current draw is your choice of shirt, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
Yeah,
what
out
it
of the
was.
three
Yeah,
kits.
just clarify that for us, Mr. Sponsored by Shipstones, please, because we seem to be confused. But he's supposed to have done the draw today as well, hasn't he?
Which shirt have you won? Let us know.
Yeah.
I'm just going to message Bill and ask him who's won.
That way.
So, Shipstone, what we need to clarify from you is, did you win the signed frame shirt or did you win one of the instant giveaways? And have you now just gone in again and got lucky and hit ticket number 50? I don't know. And Crypto, if that ticket didn't sell, I've spoken to Bill about sending you this shirt because I know he's your favorite player.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, okay. I completely forgot what we were talking about. I feel like it was something important. Something about Forest, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were asking about whether
Formation.
one should start.
Yeah, from Owen's question. Yeah, that was a really good question. So, and did you answer it? No, coming to you now. So, what would you do? Would you with the Woney?
I would go 100% with Ez and say that I would keep the team we played against Wolves, and one use there to bring on if needed. However, I am very fearful that Steve Cooper's going to go more defensive against Leeds, and I hope he doesn't. But that's my fear. But I would keep the same team, except maybe being Yatesy in. Don't ask me for, but maybe ring.
You know I'm gonna.
I know you are.
You can't get away with that.
Would Danilo, Mangala, and Yates work? Is that feasible? I know there's not a specific defensive midfielder there, but
I mean, is Freuler really a specific defensive midfielder?
no, it's not.
Yeah, we've got. Listen, look at those two centre backs.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're
they'll
right.
just do
You're
it.
right. Yeah. I would
haven't
bring
we?
Yates, I would bring Yatesy in for Freuler and go for it. That's what I'd do.
Yeah. Come on, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
We've got to be positive with those two in at the centre back. We've got to be. It would have been better for me if we had Aurier and Lodgy from the start. I understand why Lodgy didn't start the game. Was he clarifying it? Yeah, I understand why Lodgy didn't start the game. Makes sense now. And actually, Toffolo did well until he had to come off.
He was good.
I didn't think Cooper was going to make that change. Again, when Lodgy came on, he was fantastic. I thought it was really good. He got a couple of good crosses in. It's just a shame, we're starting to get the crosses in, but we're still not having the bodies aren't in the box to attack those crosses. But it looked more positive. So I think I wouldn't change anything. Wolverine, what would you do? Would you bring a 1 year in Tuesday?
I'll tell you what I will do, but Shipstone's getting the wrong end of the stick. So I think what's happened here is he's just entered, off the back of us saying it, he's hit ticket number 50. Shipstone, ticket number 50 is the insta-win where you get to choose which of the 3 shirts you want. So ask your daughter if she wants the home, or maybe it's for you, the home, the away, or the third kit. Yeah. Now, the draw for the signed shirts will happen on Friday coming, but that ticket will still be valid for it as well. You'll be on the list for it.
But the Aurier shirt, the Aurier signed framed shirt was drawn tonight.
Yeah.
At 8:30.
Yeah.
So we don't know who's won that. Let me just check if I've won it.
Are we playing centre forwards away from home? Is Reed back? No, he's not. And I would say, look, what I would do personally is I would keep the same team apart from bringing Loddy back in for Tuffalo. Not because I thought Tuffalo was bad. I just think Loddy's better. It's as simple as that. There's no hate on Tuffalo at all. I would still drop Nico Williams. I would put Tuffalo at right back. How's that? Unless if Aurier is not fit.
If Aurier is fit, it's Aurier and Lodgy. Simple as.
No, if he's not fit, I would put Tuffalo at right back.
I wouldn't mind that,
No.
I would.
No.
It's not a right back, is he? It's not a right back. It's Nico at right back.
Nor's Nico, in my opinion. He's not a right back. Nick, thank you so much for the 199, buddy.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, but
It's more of a right back than left footer Buffalo.
£1.99, Nick Clark.
Look, I get it. I get it. People don't like converting. People don't like converting it, yeah. But I'm sorry, I don't trust Nico as a right back. I'm sorry, I don't.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
And I've not been wrong on a lot of players, guys. As much as you lot take the piss out of me, right? I've not been wrong on a lot of players this season, right? Trust me, Nico is not ready. He's not ready. Tafalo is a better right back for me than Nico Williams.
Just to answer this, Mark, I don't think Nonto's available. I think he's out.
Nonto's injured.
I saw that Rodrigo came on as I think a 65th minute sub against Arsenal.
Great, so he's going to start.
Yeah, so he's possibly going to start. But
Doesn't matter we got Felipe Niakate. Doesn't matter who starts.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
We don't care.
Exactly. Size asking what size are the shirts? Are they extra large? Asking for a fat friend. I think they're large, bro. I'll double check with Bill. I'll find out for you, mate. Oh, you know, don't they're large, yeah? And 6.
I know because I've won all the previous ones, so you know.
Ant's won before, and he fits into a large, and he's like 6'3", aren't you, Ant? Oh, he's gonna fess it up now. Yeah.
Listen, this is an instant prize. It wasn't the frame one. It was an instant prize.
Do you know the verbal abuse I gave Ant when I found out he'd won?
I know. I was like all chuffed and happy. Oh, hey, look, I've got number 100. Blah blah blah. Effing B and C and yeah, a lot. Anyway.
Yeah, sorry. Can I just clarify? It's my setup at the moment. I'm in between moving houses, but yeah, in the next few weeks I'll be settled. So yeah, you won't get so much of a quantum leap from me.
Yeah. Okay, and hopefully his mic doesn't sound so underwater. Okay, so for me, I would keep the same team. I would just put Tuffalo at right back if Aurier is not fit, and I'd put Lodi at left back if he's back in. I wouldn't start Awonyi. I really like Awonyi. I do. But I still feel there's this, if they're injured, they become better than they are syndrome with him. That's the only thing. And I really like the front three. My other thing I'd say is, come heaven or high water, I'd find somewhere to put Scarpa in that team. It's got to be done.
You can't say heaven or high water.
Even if it was on the bench and bring him on for a whole second half or something, man, it's just...
On the bench, absolutely. Yeah.
He's played left back. What about right back?
Yeah. I'd put him ahead of Nico, yeah, I would. Cool. Okay. I think we will wrap it up there. We've been going for an hour and 45. It's been crazy. I don't know where the time's gone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Look, tomorrow, Beat the Drop. I'm so excited for it. I know the big man's excited for it. I know Dino's excited just to be watching it, and so is Ez, and hopefully you guys are as well. Quick request, hit the like button if you haven't already. If you haven't seen the vlog, please go watch it straight after this. Honestly, the first 3 minutes, if you're not laughing from freaking Egghead down there, then I don't know what makes you laugh anymore. And I've seen your comments. Ez has had a lot of comments taking the piss out of his form as well.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, Ramadan games, mate. I should have done more. I didn't realize how heavy it was.
So please go watch the vlog. And then tomorrow we'll have someone was asking in the questions, just very quickly. It was from, where's it gone here? I can't find it, but someone was asked. Oh, it was Jake. It says, Wolverine, can you look in your in-depth analysis how many touches Forest had in the box in the second half before and after the defensive sub? Yeah, Jake, I'll be doing the in-depth analysis tomorrow afternoon. I think it's going to be an interesting one. It takes a while to put together, but I'll try and get that out. Beat the Drop tomorrow night, and then Tuesday, it's game time. For Leeds. It's going to be a busy week, so go grab yourself some rest. Thank you so much for tuning in.
It's because my missus is away. She rang me like Sunday and said, "What's the plans?"
On that note, come on, you Reds.
You Reds.